Next morning, 7 a.m. leaving little Pipe Cay, going to Staniel.
From our lovely anchorage behind little Pipe Cay, we came out onto the bank heading for Staniel's. We motor sailed down the back onto the bank. We weren't sure if we could cross this bank, but we did so at half tide with about 10-20 centimeters under the keel, and then came into our usual anchorage behind Big Majors. Anchor behind Big Majors, we came to see the pig beach. We took a dinghy ride along this channel here with a strong southeast wind behind us, came round the top of Big Majors through this very narrow channel here, and took the dinghy into what they call Pig Beach, where we saw all the pigs swimming. Very interesting. After that, we came around the corner into the wind and had a very wet dinghy ride on the way back to Cloudy Bay.
Anchored in Staniel Cay, and we are heading off to the Pig Island.
Big Majors where the pigs are.
That must be yucky.
Yeah.
A bit of a bumpy ride. Navigational challenges ahead. Now these animals are easily recognized by everybody, aren't they?
What?
Not that one, but these. Our welcoming committee in Big Majors.
Well, have you ever seen such a thing? Pigs swimming in the sea. I'll tell you what, it's not much bacon on them. Oh, this one's got a bit of bacon. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, that's Juana. Go and say hi. Those piggies?
We are not making friends.
You take one back to the boat? Could you fit half of one in the freezer? What do you think? Hello, mister. Does it not get a bit salty in there for you? Okay, don't talk to me then. Who's your friend? Oh, something you said? They've all gone. You got a sore hoof. Oh, that needs cutting off. Poor thing. How about you? How's your hooves? I'm on hoof inspection. Excuse me, Mr. Curlytail. Okay, just walk on then. I've got a feeling they just want food. They don't want love or anything, just food. They're just like me. Is that why you call me Piggy sometimes?
No, I only call you Natty.
Oh.
Another tripper boat coming, and the pigs are swimming to welcome the new batch of tourists. They really are like pigs, aren't they?
They are like pigs, yeah. I love pigs, I think they're really funny. Oh, look, look.
Waiting for their food.
Before we left Staniel's, I really wanted to see the Thunderball Grotto, which was filmed in the James Bond film of the same name. So I took a dinghy down here, and the grotto was right in this island here. It was quite interesting because the tide runs very strong through the cave one way or the other. So you normally go in the entrance at low tide and swim right the way through and out the other side. But I hit it at high tide, was there on my own, and the tide was running so strong that I couldn't get into the entrance. But I did manage to find a very narrow gap here, which I weaved my way through, and then into the entrance of the cave, where I was swept through with the current, and then couldn't get out this side without diving down because the tide was so high. It was quite exciting. Going into the Thunderball Grotto. Very strong. Okay, we are going inside and we're going right through with the current. Now I've done it once. Okay, there's a strong current. Oh, God, it's very strong. Wow. When I come through here, I have to dive. Okay, let's just go with the current. Wow. Look at that. Go straight through this other side. Okay, diving. And you would never know it was there. From Staniel's, we were aiming to Little Farmers to see the famous regatta that they have every year. We headed out past Staniel's and then out onto the shallow bank. We tried to follow our normal track, but got stuck. We tried 4 times to get out. First time we took the normal route, ran aground, came back to anchor, and then we took another route, ran aground, came back and anchor, took the final route here, ran aground, came back and anchored, and eventually 2 hours before high tide we managed to get through and out through the channel.
Next morning, leaving Staniel Cay, heading to Little Farmers Cay. Low tide. Let's see how we get out of here. 2.5, 2.4. As expected, we ran aground. It's very much bump and go. That's where we ran aground. Take 2, 2.5, 2.6. 2 hours later, take 3, but still 2.5. And we keep on bumping. That's the naughty captain.
Sorry, Cloudy.
Stirred sand. This is what we leave behind us. What do you have to say in your defense, Captain?
Well, my defense is that we're going through at the same time the tide. They ain't letting us through. And I don't know why. It's a bit weird. Other than that, with no defense. Sorry, Cloudy.
Yet another hour and a half later. Will that help? I don't think so.
I could do with some sand to bury my head in, really.
Take 4.
From our little drama here, which took us 3 to 4 hours to get through, we came out onto the bank in the nicer, deeper water, but it was late by now, so we motor sailed, watched the sunset, and came in to Oven Rock, just north of Little Farmers Cay, just after dark.
Wind is on the nose, so we are motor sailing the 15 miles to Little Farmers Cay. We'll get there in the dark. It is going to be a hazy sunset. We haven't had a nice one in a while. Anchored in 3.7 meters at high tide, so we should be fine tomorrow morning. And there must be hundreds of boats here. Lots of anchor lights.
Anchored next to Oven Rock, the next morning we took a dinghy ride, a walk up the beach, and came across the island to see a big cave here, which is quite famous. After that, we fought our way through the undergrowth to see this half-moon bay. Before we went back to the dinghy, we also had a little look at Oven Rock to see what the name was about, and found what looked like a bread oven in the end of the rock. Very interesting.
We are anchored out there, next to Mahina and Pearly Pearl. And Captain Glenn is going to take me ashore to explore a cave on the other side of this hill. That's your shower for the morning? These two piles of rock mark the beginning of the trail, we were told.
I'm tracking. I can see footprints. And the trail turns to quite sharp limestone. Not really flip-flop territory. One has got the sensible shoes on. As usual, Captain Sensible.
And the entrance seems to be through here.
This is the freshwater pools down here.
Quite interesting. This is the entrance. Unfortunately, we are not alone.
It's not fresh. I thought it was supposed to be fresh, but it's salty.
Very cold salt water.
Come on, mountain bunny.
Where next, Captain?
I don't know. We'll see where the trail takes us. This is the hill up on top of the cave, looking out east onto a very nice half moon bay down there. And then back out over here to the Exuma banks where we are anchored. I'm going to let Juana go first through here.
Sending me through here.
If anything eats you, just let me know and I'll stay here.
You'll hear me scream.
Okay. That's got her.
Kidding.
No, she's just kidding. I thought she'd been eaten by a guana or a wild pig. It's a bit tight through here. Let's get out of this mosquito-infected grass into the Half Moon Bay. Oh, that's rather pretty.
Yet another lovely beach. Across the hill.
Oh, back into fresh air. No mozzies.
Back to the anchorage. It's a rocky beach on this side.
Stepping stones here.
Back to our dinghy and the oven rock. Let's see what the fuss is about this one.
Well, this is the Oven Rock anchorage and this is the Oven Rock.
Speaking of anchorage, hundreds and hundreds of boats out there. Very rough climb through here. Mind your toes! And I guess that's why it's called Oven Rock.
Excuse me, this is a cave for one. Can't fit anymore. This is what you call the anchorage cave view. From where we were anchored behind Oven Rock, it was about a 1.5 mile dinghy ride to where the regatta is down here. This is the area that they were sailing. It was great fun and entertainment to watch the local boats jostle with each other, even though sadly there was hardly any wind for them.
The afternoon entertainment will be provided by the Regatta.
Hey guys, what do you call these boats? Is it Bahamian sloop or Bahamian sloop? They're beautiful. Huge sails.
They are all waiting to line up for the start. I guess they don't have all the rules clear yet. They are shouting.
Slaughterer. That's a bit of a name.
We didn't hear a gun, but I guess this is the start.
Oh, they've got their anchors tangled.
It's a bit of a chaos.
Oh, they've got a good head start. They pull up the anchors, wait.
And all the dinghies are following along. Hardly any wind for them to race. They are not going anywhere very fast. What do you think, Captain Glenn?
It's pretty neat. I like that.
Lining to round the marker. They certainly have a lot of arguing, to say the least. Can I have some commentary here?
You want my commentary on top of all theirs? There's a lot of shouting. I think they all hit the buoy.
We do miss racing, don't we?
Absolutely everyone has hit the buoy. I'm not sure that that's actually against the rules, it seems, but they don't seem to have much of an idea about buoy rounding.
Oh, they've just dropped the anchor there. Even more shouting.
They just concentrated a bit. They might have been 4 boat lengths further first.
Oh my gosh. No fair play there. This group here seems to be a lot more technical. They are rounding the buoy nicely. Very dark sky. I guess we've seen enough of racing. Time for rum punch. The boats are going through the finish line there. And here we are settled for rum punches. Drinks finished. Returning to mothership.
I don't think we've seen this many boats since Puerto Rico. And after a stinking hot day, it's finally started to cool off with a lovely shower. No wind, just rain. Yeah, wash all that salt off.
After 2 days leaving Avon Rock,